Paleontologists have discovered over 300,000 extinct species, but some fossils are so bizarre that scientists initially thought they were looking at alien life forms. These creatures existed, they dominated their ecosystems, and reconstructing them from fossils revealed body plans that shouldn't be possible. In 1911, paleontologist Charles Walcott discovered a fossil in the Canadian Rockies. The creature was 2 centimeters long, smaller than your thumb. It had 7 pairs of legs, 7 tentacles protruding from its back, and a bulbous head with no visible eyes. Scientists called it Hallucigenia because it looked like a hallucination. Unfortunately for paleontologists, the fossil was so strange they reconstructed it upside down for 70 years. Hallucigenia lived 508 million years ago during the Cambrian explosion. That's 250 million years before dinosaurs existed. The creature walked on the ocean floor using 7 pairs of rigid spines, or so scientists thought. Then a 1991 study from Cambridge University proved something shocking. The spines weren't legs, they were defensive spikes on its back. The actual legs, with the 7 tentacles, scientists thought were sensory organs. The creature had been reconstructed completely inverted. But here's what makes Hallucigenia even stranger. Each leg ended in 6 to 9 claws, as many as 63 claws total on a creature smaller than your thumb. The head, which scientists couldn't identify for decades, had a ring of teeth surrounding its mouth. In case you needed more proof this creature was bizarre, 2015 electron microscope analysis revealed its closest modern relatives are velvet worms and tardigrades. An ancient spiny worm with dozens of claws evolved into microscopic water bears. Talk about an evolutionary downgrade. You couldn't even imagine what Hallucigenia ate until 2017. Researchers from the Royal Ontario Museum found fossilized gut contents. The creature consumed algae and bacteria by scraping them off rocks with its ring of teeth. A 2-centimeter nightmare worm that looked alien was actually a peaceful algae grazer. The Cambrian oceans were stranger than science fiction. Shockingly, Hallucigenia wasn't the strangest creature from this period. 270 million years ago, a shark swam in the oceans of what's now Idaho and Russia. Helicoprion grew to 4 meters long as a great white shark, but instead of rows of replacement teeth, it had a circular saw blade in its lower jaw. The tooth whorl spiraled like a roll of razor wire, containing up to 180 teeth arranged in a perfect logarithmic spiral. Scientists discovered the first Helicoprion fossil in 1899. For 114 years, paleontologists couldn't determine where the tooth whorl belonged. Early reconstructions placed it on the shark's snout like a circular saw. Others placed it on the dorsal fin. Some thought it was a defensive spine on the tail. The problem was simple. Sharks have cartilage skeletons that rarely fossilize. Only the tooth whorls preserved. Then a 2013 CT scan study from Idaho State University changed everything. Researchers scanned a complete Helicoprion fossil and discovered the tooth whorl sat inside the lower jaw. As the shark closed its mouth, the whorl rotated backward, pulling prey into the throat while the teeth sliced continuously. You couldn't escape once caught because the backward rotation prevented release. The shark was a living conveyor belt of teeth. But here's what scientists can't explain. Modern sharks replace teeth throughout their lives. Old teeth fall out, new teeth move forward. Helicoprion never shed teeth. New teeth formed at the center of the whorl, pushing older teeth outward in an expanding spiral. A 4-meter Helicoprion had every tooth it ever grew still attached to its jaw. The oldest teeth, worn smooth from years of cutting, sat at the outer edge of the whorl. Unfortunately for prey, this meant Helicoprion's bite became more efficient with age, not less. The tooth whorl wasn't just strange, it was mechanically perfect. In case you needed more proof, paleontologists calculated the whorl's spiral matched the golden ratio found in nautilus shells. Evolution created a mathematically optimal cutting tool 270 million years before humans invented rotary blades. Talk about prehistoric engineering. Surprisingly, sharks weren't the only creatures evolution designed incorrectly. 70 million years ago in what's now Mongolia, a dinosaur walked through Cretaceous forests carrying weapons that made every predator avoid it. Therizinosaurus stood 5 meters tall, taller than a giraffe. It weighed 5,000 kilograms, as heavy as an African elephant. But here's what fossil evidence from the Nemegt Formation reveals. The creature had claws 1 meter long, longer than a samurai sword. When paleontologists first discovered Therizinosaurus claws in 1948, they thought they'd found a giant turtle. The claws were so massive and curved that no known dinosaur matched them. Scientists classified it as a turtle-like reptile for 25 years. Then more fossils revealed the truth. Therizinosaurus wasn't a turtle. It was a theropod, the same family as Tyrannosaurus rex and Velociraptor. But unlike its carnivorous relatives, Therizinosaurus was an herbivore. You couldn't look at those meter-long claws and guess the creature ate plants. Each claw was scythe-shaped, sharp, and designed to slice through flesh. But 2010 analysis of Therizinosaurus jaw structure proved it consumed vegetation. The claws weren't weapons for hunting. They were tools for pulling down tree branches and stripping leaves. Unfortunately for Cretaceous predators, the claws also made Therizinosaurus nearly invincible in combat. But here's what makes it worse. Therizinosaurus had the longest claws of any known animal in Earth's history. No modern creature comes close. A grizzly bear has 10-centimeter claws. Therizinosaurus claws were 10 times longer. The creature needed those massive claws because Cretaceous trees grew over 30 meters tall. You couldn't reach the highest branches without sword-length appendages. Talk about extreme adaptation. Shockingly, some Cambrian creatures were even stranger than dinosaurs with sword claws. 505 million years ago, a predator hunted in shallow seas near what's now British Columbia. Opabinia was 7 centimeters long, about the size of a cigarette lighter. It had 5 eyes arranged in a row on top of its head. 3 faced forward, 2 faced to the sides. But the truly bizarre feature was its feeding appendage, a flexible trunk with a claw at the end that could reach forward and grab prey. When paleontologist Harry Whittington first presented Opabinia's reconstruction in 1975, the audience of scientists laughed. They thought it was a joke. 5 eyes and a trunk with a grabbing claw seemed impossible. But the Burgess Shale fossils were perfect. Opabinia had actually existed with that bizarre body plan. In case you needed more proof, researchers found multiple specimens with identical features. This wasn't a mutation, this was a successful design. Unfortunately for prey, Opabinia's 5 eyes gave it exceptional vision. Each eye could focus independently, providing nearly 360-degree awareness. The flexible trunk allowed the creature to grab food while swimming backward. You couldn't sneak up on something with 5 eyes watching different directions. Modern animals typically have 2 eyes or, rarely, compound eyes. Opabinia's 5-eye arrangement never evolved again. Talk about a unique solution. But here's what scientists can't explain. Opabinia has no living relatives. The creature didn't evolve into any modern species. It represents an entirely extinct body plan. When the Cambrian period ended, creatures like Opabinia vanished completely. Evolution tried 5-eyed predators with trunked grabbers and decided the design wasn't worth keeping. The Cambrian was an experimental phase where bizarre body plans either succeeded or disappeared forever. Surprisingly, the Cambrian wasn't Earth's only period of bizarre creatures. 380 million years ago, during the Devonian period, a predator ruled the oceans that made modern sharks look harmless. Dunkleosteus grew to 6 meters long, twice the length of a great white shark, but instead of teeth, it had armored bone plates that functioned as guillotine blades. The jaw closed with 5,300 newtons of bite force, stronger than any living fish and comparable to a modern alligator. Then a 2006 study from the University of Chicago revealed something shocking. Dunkleosteus could open its mouth in 50 milliseconds, faster than you can blink. The speed created a vacuum that sucked prey directly into its jaws. You couldn't swim away, because the vacuum pulled you in before your muscles could react. The creature was a living trap that combined crushing force with suction feeding. But here's what makes Dunkleosteus even more terrifying. The armored plates never stopped growing. Older individuals had thicker, sharper jaw plates than younger ones. A 6-meter adult could slice through bone and shell like scissors through paper. In case you needed more proof this creature dominated its ecosystem, Fossil evidence shows Dunkleosteus consumed sharks, other placoderms, and even smaller members of its own species. Talk about an apex predator. Unfortunately for other Devonian creatures, Dunkleosteus had no predators. The armoured plating covering its head and neck was 2 centimetres thick, strong enough to deflect any attack. You couldn't bite through bone armour when your own teeth would shatter on impact. Modern sharks have rows of replacement teeth specifically because they hunt armoured prey. Dunkleosteus didn't need replacement teeth because its bone blades were indestructible. Shockingly, even Dunkleosteus wasn't the strangest Cambrian predator. 505 million years ago, Anomalocaris hunted in the same seas as Opabinia and Hallucigenia. The creature grew to 1 metre long, enormous for the Cambrian period when most animals measured in centimetres. It had compound eyes with 16,000 lenses, more than modern dragonflies, 2 grasping appendages extended from its head like mechanical arms, each lined with spines for capturing prey. When scientists first discovered Anomalocaris fossils, they thought they'd found 3 different animals. The circular mouth looked like a jellyfish. The grasping appendages looked like shrimp. The body segments looked like a separate creature entirely. For decades, paleontologists classified these parts as unrelated species. Then a 1985 discovery in the Burgess Shale found a complete fossil showing all parts connected. The strangest predator of the Cambrian was actually one creature assembled from seemingly impossible parts. But here's what fossil evidence reveals. Anomalocaris dominated Cambrian oceans for 25 million years. Nothing else from that period approached its size or hunting ability. The compound eyes could spot prey from impressive distances. The grasping appendages could bend and flex to capture struggling animals. The circular mouth had 32 overlapping plates that closed like a camera shutter, pulling prey inward while the plates sliced simultaneously. You couldn't escape Anomalocaris because it was the first creature to evolve advanced vision. In case you needed more proof, 2011 analysis showed its eyes had the same structure as modern arthropods, despite being 200 million years older than any other complex eye. Evolution created sophisticated visual systems during the Cambrian and then refined them for 500 million years. Unfortunately for Cambrian creatures, being the first with advanced eyes meant Anomalocaris could see prey that couldn't see it coming. From 2-centimetre worms reconstructed upside down to 6-metre armoured fish with guillotine jaws, Earth's fossil record proves evolution experimented with body plans that seem impossible. Hallucigenia walked on tentacles while spikes protected its back. Helicoprion carried every tooth it ever grew in a logarithmic spiral. Therizinosaurus was an herbivore with metre-long claws. Opabinia had 5 eyes and a grabbing trunk. Dunkleosteus crushed prey faster than victims could react. And Anomalocaris pioneered advanced vision 505 million years ago. These weren't failed experiments. Each creature dominated its ecosystem, each body plan solved specific survival challenges, and each one proves that the strangest extinct creatures weren't alien life forms. They were Earth's successful solutions to evolutionary problems we no longer face. That's the reality of deep time. Life finds ways to survive that we can barely reconstruct from fossils, let alone imagine without evidence.